Welcome to On the Way to School, your 6-minute daily boost for educators and administrators. I'm Christopher S. Dennis, and today, let's elevate our journey together. Hello, good people. Welcome back to On the Way to School. It's been a couple days. Sorry I left you without a dope rhyme to step to. I think it's been a really interesting week coming off the inauguration and MLK Day, and there's going to be a lot of information that continues to unfold from what the president has said, and continuously the things that are happening to impact the lives of American citizens. So please believe I'm going to have plenty to say about that. But today I wanted to talk about just teaching. At our school, we have our semester changed over at the end of last week. So new semester class has begun. And that means I was allowed and had the privilege to start teaching my semester-long history elective, which is known as Equity, Justice, and Leadership. So I have sophomores, juniors, and seniors in my class, and we've got so much going on campus this year that I didn't know if I was going to teach. I thought about it. I said, maybe I just need to take the semester off and, focus on our self-study for accreditation, and really thinking about all the priorities that are upon our school. But I didn't let that deter me. And I said, I really do love being in the classroom, and I love teaching because, as you know, this is the way that you actually spend some really deep time with students. And then you can really have a really strong journey as an educator, and you never want to lose that connection with students in the classroom. So before I taught my class on Tuesday, I had the first block, which means students would come to my class the first block of the day. And if, it's a new semester. So it's like, I got the first day jitters just like everybody else. I prefer to teach in the fall where we all get to have the first day experience. But I ran into one of my colleagues and I was like, hey, give me some tips for teaching my class this semester. Well, what should I think about? And, her name's Yuriko, and she gave me some really good advice. She said, be vulnerable with them, tell them the truth, and maintain high expectations. I was like, wow, ooh, tell me more. She's like, yeah, like if you feel like, they're doing great, let them know that they're doing great. Write home, send an email. He said, and then she said, and also because if they're not doing great, in the moment, in the classroom, you could say things like, I'm not feeling respected right now. This doesn't feel good, what's going on. And it was really cool to get feedback and get that tip because, she gave me a jewel that was really important. And I was glad that she slowed down and really gave me some advice. And I don't think that I would have centered or had those thoughts on my mind organically. And I think just having somebody that gives you that kind of feedback and give you that coaching tip peer to peer is really cool. So even though I'm an administrator and, it may seem like I've got it all together, I'm not too good to be able to get that peer to peer feedback and connection for my class. And then I saw her later that day and she was like, how did it go? And I was like, oh, it was great. I have a wonderful group. And I do. It's a small class, 7 students, and we talk about just, some logistics, but the first question I ask them of substance is really, tell me the name of a leader you admire and why. And what was really special about their responses in this particular semester, the majority of them spoke about a parent. In fact, the majority of them spoke about a father or a grandfather, which was really interesting because I've taught this class for numerous years, and it varies on the types of figures that they focus on. And it helped me understand some of their values and where they're coming from as students when we think about leadership. And then one student actually just, said his, a leader he admires is Julius Caesar. And we talked about that, and it helped us kind of anchor a conversation into what leadership means and what does student leadership look like and representation. And it was just a really good, foundational moment for the course. And I'm excited to teach them again today because we're going to build on that work. And of course, conversations came up about the inauguration, and it really gave me a chance to affirm the norms in our classroom And I shared that, as we think about equity, justice, and leadership, we are going to always have an opportunity to make sure we understand what the opposing point of view is so that we can understand what their why is and what their focus is. And they're going to have some trust that we can do that in a healthy way, because immediately when the questions about the inauguration came in, I had to let them know, like, we're going to definitely talk about all of that. But if we don't set the right foundation to know how we're going to get out of these conversations, it'll do more harm than good than just to rush into them and jump in them. So as you can tell, I'm excited about it. So glad that I have the opportunity to be an administrator as well as a classroom educator, because it allows me to never forget the prep time that goes into it. Never forget how exhausting you are after you've taught a lesson. And so hats off to everybody who's stepping in and showing up in the classroom in all the ways you can. Shout out to all my fellow semester class teachers and making sure our lesson plans and our scope and sequence are tight. But I hope everybody is doing the best they can as we close out the week on the way to school. Take care, folks. Thanks for joining me on the way to school. Stay inspired, stay motivated, and keep making a difference. I'm Christopher S. Dennis. See you tomorrow.